Let me start with question number 1. What the hell were you thinking?
I know you gonna dig this.
Are you comfortable in Hollywood? That came out weird.
Well, yeah, again, it's the same thing. I mean, I certainly was getting comfortable.
You like it out here, by the way?
Well, I did.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Here I am on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, California. And I'm on it seems like a very noisy part of the strip. It is. The Sunset Strip, as you know it, like where all the clubs are, Viper Room, Whiskey, Rainbow, Chateau Marmont, just down there, just past Crescent Heights Boulevard, right that way, Laurel Canyon, then go around a little bend, and there's all those famous billboards, everything you see, all the action. Strip clubs, like from the Motley Crue video, all right down there. So this is just a little east. It's a little quieter. And maybe if you want to make a stop, or there's a 7-Eleven, you want to pick up a few supplies. In June of 1994, Hugh Grant, famed British actor Hugh Grant, was hot off the success of 4 Weddings and a Funeral. He was in town to promote a movie called 9 Months. Now, I want to talk about the movie 9 Months. I'm going to talk about it with a fellow millennial, Randy from Randomly Randy.
Why,
Now,
hello
do you know the movie? Why, that's his catchphrase. Why, hello there.
That's great.
Do you know the movie 9 Months?
Not very well.
No, but have you heard of it or no?
Yes.
Oh, you okay. Yeah, it was a moderate hit. I think it was going to be Hugh Grant's big break.
9 months. You're going to inject that thing into my wife?
Mm-hmm.
See, that is why women have the babies, you see? Because men can't handle the power.
In the States. 4 Ways and Funeral was huge, but this was his big American debut. So him, Julianne Moore, Tom Arnold, and Robin Williams. So he's here in LA to promote it. And then one night he got very drunk, got behind the wheel of a car. He said he was drunk. He decided to take a drive down Sunset Strip. And, well, I guess he wanted some company, Randy.
Yeah.
Let's walk a little. Because what he did was, he stopped somewhere around here, around right near the Guitar Center, and he met a woman of the night. Do you know what that is?
I do.
Okay. He met a woman of the night. He met a prostitute named Divine Brown. And he picked her up in his car, and for $60, they turned up this side street, up Gardner up here. I'm going to show you the exact spot where he was busted by the police. Busted.
More ways than one.
Yeah. So it was right up here. We're going to go around the corner. I'm going to show you where it happened, tell you what was the aftermath of this story, because it's quite famous. I mean, it was everywhere in the 90s when this happened. It was a huge, huge story. I'm going to try to tell as best I can. I hope it doesn't blow. Okay. All right, sorry, that joke sucked. Again.
How many more you got?
Probably a few. That's what she said. So there's probably going, but that's what they were doing in the car, if you haven't caught the gist. They weren't having full-on sex. He was, let's go. All right, so here we are in a little residential area. Let me show you where the Sunset Strip. This is Curzon and Hawthorne. The Sunset Strip, where we just were, right down there, where all those cars are, well, there's a truck right at the end trying to turn, but cars going by, that's the strip, and to the right, which would be west, that's where, say, where, you know, all the clubs and bars start. So Randy, what I was doing was I was looking up old news footage, right, of the arrest, but there really wasn't much. The next day it exploded with the mug shots, the famous mug shots of Hugh Grant and Divine Brown. But I couldn't find the address. I couldn't find exactly. All I knew was the Sunset Strip, and I actually thought he got busted on the Sunset Strip when I was thinking about doing this story. Then I found this old news footage on a website of the people that came out the next day, and they had Hawthorne and Curson. They were just taking like pretty much stock shots. You know what I mean? There was nobody talking. There was no newscaster. They were just showing the area. So I said, okay, well, it's around there where it happened. And again, you might be asking yourself, why, Scott? Why did you care where it happened? And I found it interesting. You know, it's a pop culture. It's a pop culture moment. So I started looking for police reports, arrest reports. Couldn't find anything. Could not find at all. And finally, I did. I saw a quick clip where they had his arrest report, froze the screen, enlarged it, got the address, and it's right down here. Now let's take a moment to bathe in the fact of what happened on this street. I'm sure it's not the only time things like that have happened around here. You know, it's Hollywood. But Hugh Grant came up this street, I'm assuming up Curson, made a right, parked the car. He paid her $60, and the police, she was a known, let's say the word prostitute, I guess she was a known prostitute, so they were watching her, and I'm sure some other people that were on the strip. So they followed the car, but they couldn't make an arrest unless they know what's going on. There's nothing,
Catch him in the act.
there's nothing wrong with picking up somebody off the street, right? That's how we met.
You did just pick me up off the street.
Yeah, and you've been in my videos ever since. But they came along this way, because see where that white car is? We're going to walk over to it. They followed his car, his rental, and the brake lights kept going on and off. So,
Like a strobe light?
yeah, kind of like a strobe light. Or perhaps more like a stroke light. Okay, all right. So, what my guess is, so they saw the brake light flash, and that's how they knew activity was happening in the car, because she was performing, he was on the receiving end of what she was doing, and it happened right here. So here we are. This is the exact spot where that infamous incident occurred, right in front of this little house. I'm not gonna, I've already shown the front of the house, but I'm not going to put it on blast, but I've already shown the front of the house, and it's not that much of a tourist attraction, and I don't think so. But this is where they were parked, Randy. Right here. Can you believe it?
So parked there for a good time?
Yeah. They were here for a good time, definitely not a long time, because the police swooped in, and they were arrested, and they were both booked. And, see, he was here to do publicity for 9 months. That was what he was here for. Mm-hmm. So he had to go on the Jay Leno show just a few days afterward, and pretty much everybody assumed, well, he's going to cancel that appearance. He did not. He went on, and Jay Leno was one of the first things he brought up. He's like, so, and then I'm going to show a bit of the clips of what happened. And I think he said, I did a very, very bad thing.
I think you know in life pretty much what's a good thing to do and what's a bad thing, and I did a bad thing, and there you have it.
I mean, that's...
And, well, yeah, he was dating, Elizabeth Hurley.
Yes.
He was dating Elizabeth Hurley at the time. Took her 2 months to respond, and she said her world was shattered, as it would be. And also, what's funny about this is that was one of the most watched, this is at the height of the Leno-Letterman wars. That was one of the most watched Jay Leno shows ever when he was hosting Tonight Show, because he had just started hosting Tonight Show. That helped Jay Leno propel over the ratings, in the ratings, over David Letterman. So he became. It helped Jay Leno.
Yeah.
And it actually, it didn't do too badly for Hugh Grant's career. Nobody really. 9 Months was an okay movie. It wasn't great, but I think it kind of helped the box office.
Yeah.
Didn't really, and then he became a superstar after that. So he received, I think he had to pay around, what did I say, $1,500?
I think it was a little less.
A little less than $1,500? Something about that in fines. She paid $1,100, but she got 180 days in jail as well because she had priors. So she had already been caught before.
Yes.
But so it doesn't seem fair that she went to jail and he doesn't. But she did have priors. But she made off of the story and in the ensuing years and publicity and going to places. She promoted various, strip clubs and pornographic things.
Mm-hmm.
She made about $1.5 million in total. She put her kids through school, private school.
So it ended up not too bad for her. I
No,
guess.
and she moved to a house in Beverly Hills, Divine Brown. Yeah. And she's been in trouble with the law one other time since, I believe, but that's it. So I'm going to guess the car was probably parked right about, I don't know for sure. All I know is it was in front of this house, probably right around here. Where, it could have sucked the life out of his career, but it didn't. His career kind of blew up. So, yeah, after this incident. But in the 90s, it was, everybody knows what goes on, and it's not a big deal. It really wasn't. But it was a big deal back then for me because he was just on the cusp of becoming famous, and everybody thought, well, you just screwed yourself, buddy. Well, no, he actually hired somebody to do it for him. Yeah,
he
didn't really screw himself in the car, but no, it kind of worked out well for Hugh Grant. It worked out for Divine Brown, and he's talked about it once or twice since then. He's made some, self-deprecating jokes. He's British. That's what they do. They make the they're like Canadians, very self-deprecating. But right here, Hugh Grant and Divine Brown, forever linked in history because of a job that she had to do.
Hope this video doesn't blow.
It sucks already. Anyways, so just wanted to give you a heads up that this is where it happened. Okay, all right, that's enough of that. So I think we told the story. Hugh Grant picked up a prostitute in 1994 here to film to promote 9 months. Came around the corner, police busted them. Famous mugshots shown all over the world, all over the cover of it was on every newspaper. Like, it wasn't just in the entertainment section, it was on the cover.
Every newspaper.
And especially in his native England. The British tabloids, they were ruthless. They just, they had nicknames for him and everything after this. But yeah, it happened right here. Hugh Grant, Divine Brown. Thanks for watching, everybody. Randy, thanks for coming along. All right, so that's a video about Hugh Grant and his escapades here in Hollywood in 1994. Can't all be about death, people. Sometimes we got to do some things, some fun topics, or true crime, but it's not really crime. But it's a pop culture moment, forever cemented right here. Okay, so I'm trying to think of one more. There's one more joke I'm not making. I just can't think of what it is.
Just one?
There's one.
I think if you really, really think about it,
I'll think hard.
we'll come up with something.
There it is. All right.